It may be freezing here in DC.
But Trump turned up the heat on the defense industry in Switzerland. I'm Mehta.
And I'm Lee Ferran.
Welcome to The Breakout. Lee, we are going to get to Davos.
We'll get there.
First, we're going to talk about how, if I was the president of the United States, I would get to Davos.
Right, and the way the president generally flies is on Air Force One. You may have seen that the Air Force One had a little trouble going to Davos this time, had to turn around and come back. That kind of underlines an issue and very much related to another story that happened last week about the Qatari Air Force One that is currently under renovation for the president to fly, apparently going to fly this summer.
Yeah, so you guys might recall last year, this became a giant political issue. People, even on both sides, weighing in, saying there's some concerns here. The Qatari government giving the U.S. this extra Boeing jet that they had. Right. Some people said, hey, this reeks of corruption. President Trump said, look, they're giving us a free jet.
I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane.
What happened was the idea is we're still a couple years away from a full Air Force One. This jet would kind of fill a gap with the aging Air Force Ones and what's to come. And that was kind of it.
Yeah, and we didn't know what the timeline was like until this week. I believe the Wall Street Journal first reported, and then our own Michael Morrow confirmed they plan to fly the plane this summer. That is a much, much tighter timeline than we were expecting, I believe, which also raises some questions about what are they doing to get the plane in the air that early? Are they scaling back on the renovations you would have normally for a flying White House?
Right, of course, a Air Force One has a ton of secure communications, satellite systems, defenses. It also has a very nice appointed bedroom and things like that. We don't know what the insides are actually going to look like from this thing. The truth is, we don't even know technically who's working on it.
Right. It's been reported that L3 Harris is the primary contractor for this renovation. They've declined to comment about their involvement, and the Air Force has also declined to give more information about the status of the plane and beyond, the timeline we were just told. We'd be curious to see how all that unfolds.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get the first look at it when it does fly. I imagine the president will like to show it off to the reporters he travels with, so we might get a view inside when that happens.
It'd be fun to see the paint scheme.
It would be fun to see the paint scheme. That's its own drama, if you recall, from Trump 1 as well. Okay, so as mentioned, the president would take Air Force One to Switzerland if he was going for, say, the Davos Forum.
Why would he go there?
Well, because that's what you do when you're a world leader, and it's the last week. It's also what you do if you want to lay another broadside onto the defense industry. We'll get into that after the break.
At Leonardo DRS, our agility helps bring the ability to dominate in any scenario, on any platform, helping our warfighters accomplish the mission and get home safely. Leonardo DRS, our agility, your advantage.
And we're back. Lee, as promised, we are going to talk a little bit about what happened in Davos.
A lot of news out of Davos, a lot of news from the president in Davos.
Yeah, obviously the leading story there was the situation around Europe relations and Greenland. A situation that was changing almost hour by hour.
Oh, yeah. Very, very fast-moving story. So you know what? We're not going to talk about that particular part of the speech. We're going to talk about more what you guys want to hear about, and that's the defense industrial base.
Yeah, it's very interesting that the president decided to continue his messaging towards the defense industrial base at Davos. You'll recall that there was an executive order a couple of weeks ago which put a cap on executive pay, focused heavily on saying, hey, we don't want you doing stock buybacks. We want you investing in actual production. And the president brought that message with him. Here, you can take a listen.
I put a cap on the salaries. Then I put no buybacks, no stock buybacks, no various other things that they were doing. I mean, they were making $50 million, but it would take them 3 years to give you a Patriot missile. I said, that's not good. My chauffeur can do a better job than that, and he makes slightly less than 50.
So again, not really mincing words
there.
Yeah,
saying his chauffeur could do a better job. That really got me.
Yeah.
It's interesting again that Trump is hammering this point home. It's not clearly top of mind. And we recently got some data out that shows some pretty astounding statistics on all this.
Yeah, this is some data provided to us by McAleese and Associates about 2024 numbers that kind of spell out what the president's trying to get at here. According to data provided by McAleese and Associates, in 2024, the leader in dividends among defense contractors for their investors was RTX, $3.2 billion. You might recall that they got a broadside specifically from the president earlier this month. In terms of stock buybacks, Lockheed Martin led the path with $3.7 billion in share repurchases. For IRAD, Boeing led the way, $6 billion. That's the kind of investments that the Pentagon's wanting to see more of. And in 2024, the company with the highest free cash flow was Lockheed Martin at $5.3 billion. So that does give kind of a baseline. And I think that baseline is going to come up a lot because the timing of this, coincidentally or not, comes right as the defense primes are getting into their earning call season.
And that's when, analysts can ask all the executive leadership of these companies basically anything they want, and that's certain to come up. How are you adapting to Trump's new demand here?
Okay. Are you guys ready to take pay cuts because he went after executive pay? Are you ready to stop doing stock buybacks, which, by the way, shareholders want you to be doing, which creates an extra pressure from the other side as well?
Right. So, these are companies. They are looking to make a profit. At the same time, they are looking to satisfy their number one customer, the Defense Department, and ultimately President Trump.
So it's going to be very interesting. And when this president puts his stamp on something, it does seem like things happen. We're going to be watching closely how the industry reacts to this in the coming weeks.
Also coming in a few weeks, a new show from Breaking Defense.
That's right. It's called Pentagon Buzz. And this is going to be a focused program looking at the news that's coming out of the building itself. We're talking about policy, strategy, the people, the leadership, acquisition, everything that's coming out of the top level of the Pentagon, we're going to cover in a short, digestible format.
It's also going to have a newsletter to go with it, so make sure to go to breakingdefense.com, sign up for that newsletter. Also, if you're not already, sign up for this newsletter so you get these shows in your inbox when they're ready. Like and subscribe to the videos. And on your favorite podcasting platform, you can find us there as well.
That's right. We love podcasts.
We do.
I'm Aaron Mehta.
I'm Lee Ferran.
Thank you for watching.